Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're well, blessed, and kept of the Lord. And guys, it's the time again of making amazing recipes. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you are a returning subscriber, then you are in the right place. Welcome back. So guys, let's just get straight into making this Sunday brunch, and this meal is a killer. Guys, I'm not missing my words. This is a killer. So let's get straight into it and make this wonderful Sunday brunch that can be made any other time. So today we are going to be making some beef wraps, and so we have some ingredients. I have beef, of course. We have some coriander, we have some red bell pepper, green bell pepper, white onions, and for the spices we have soy sauce, black pepper, paprika. And so guys, before we begin making the beef, let's make the dough for the wrappings first. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make the wrappings with half cassava flour and half wheat flour. And so the cassava flour, you can get it from the supermarket or from Kirinyaga millers, those who are in Nairobi. So you just mix the cassava flour, the all-purpose flour, and some salt and cooking oil. So once I've added in my cooking oil, you give it a very nice mix. Give it a nice mix. And then guys, I used warm water to knead the dough. Cassava flour is once it gets water, it's quite sticky. So that's why I used half cassava flour and half of wheat flour, because I didn't like working with cassava flour on its own, but you can use cassava flour and work on its own, or all purpose on its own, but I chose to go a little bit healthy. So I began by mixing with my wooden spoon, and then I decided to just go ahead and use my hands. So we're going to knead this until the dough no longer sticks in your hand, and that's your indicator. So keep adding water slowly as you are seeing me doing. And so at this point everything is perfect, so I'll cover it with some cling film, and then now we are going to begin making the filling for the wraps. Now this is the wraps. Let's make the beef stir fry filling, and I want you to note that the stir fry, you can have it on its own, but I just decided to go a little bit extra and do it with some wrap. So I am going to marinate my meat with some black pepper and salt. So just give that a nice mix, and then ensure that I'm using my double-sided pan, the Decini one, but you can use a sufuria or really anything that you find workable. But I love this pan when it comes to making stir fries. It just does magic. So I've marinated my meat, give it a nice mix, and then we are going to begin heating our pan. And guys, I want you to know that the meat, I cut it into long stripes. That's what I did with my meat. I cut it into some long stripes. And so guys, at that point, please forgive me for the lighting that day. I don't know, just don't know. So once the pan is hot enough, I'm going to add my meat, and it should be very hot so that we are searing the meat. We don't want it to bring out all the juices and then your meat will just be dry. Please, we don't want that in our wraps. Wraps are meant to be juicy, and you know, this wrap is a killer, literally. I mean every word. So let's give that a stir, and as you can see, our meat by this point is cooking well. So it's already started bringing out its water, as you can see. So I'm not going to add any more water, because I've cut the meat into thin long stripes. They will cook quickly. So I covered it, and guys, this is something that I want to tell you. I lost the footage of me adding everything else, and I am so sorry. So I'll just take you straight through everything, or rather through what I did. So once the meat was cooked, I added in my white onions. Ensure that the white onions cooked, they softened. Once they were softened enough, the next thing I did was I added my red bell pepper and the green bell pepper, gave it a mix, then now added my spices, and that was some paprika, some black pepper, more salt if it's not enough, and then I also added some soy sauce, which soy sauce is what has given the meat the color that you can see right now. But that's what the outcome of the meat. The stir fry was just super easy to make, and that was the outcome. And then guys, I also added some garlic in that. So that's it, guys. Generally, that's how you're making your stir fry, and this is what you should aim at achieving as you make your wraps. So once our beef is ready, we're going to set it aside and begin making the wraps. So our dough had rested enough and it's quite soft, so we're going to make it into very small balls, because you need to spread the balls until they're very thin, like samosa thin or a little bit less. And guys, if you have the option of buying the wraps from the supermarket, buy, because this is a lot of work, honestly. But in this channel, we do not shy away from making our meals from scratch, so let's get doing this. So as you can see, I was making my balls into very small balls, not like the chapati ones, quite small. So once I'll keep repeating the procedure until I've achieved all my balls, as you can see. So we're going to be heating my chapati pan. I told you guys in my other video, I think I overused this pan because it does magic. I used to make it chapati, pancakes, anything with, I make it on that pan. So let's dust our surface, and now we're going to begin rolling that small ball until it is big and okay. And guys, let me tell you, the first one turned out crazy. The shape was just, oh my goodness. But from there, I gathered my gear up, and the next ones were circle, and they looked good. So don't be afraid if they come out crazy. But guys, you need to cook them on very low heat so that they cook, but they look like the way you can see. So once that is ready, we are going to begin now filling up the wraps. So basically what you do is you place your wrap on the surface, add some beef stir fry, and then just roll it, wrap it up. That's the procedure. Really, there is no basic. So what I did first, I began by making the shape that I wanted, and that's the one that I wanted to achieve, a square one, because I was not able to make very big ones where I can wrap them into, I don't know, the shape that they normally do. So I would place my beef stir fry in the middle, and then once you've placed enough beef that you want on your wraps, depending on how many wraps you're making, because remember, you can freeze the wraps. That's what I did. I fold on each sides and cover that up. Perfect. So that's what I did, guys, and it came out amazing. Let me tell you, it was just superb. That's how it looks like, and it was fantastic. So I'm going to repeat the same procedure with all of my wraps, and that's the outcome. That's how they look. Now once our meat is out of the pan, we need to begin building flavor, and I'm going to be making my all-time green beans, carrot, veggies. And so in that same pan, we are building flavor. So the only thing I added was some little oil and my onions. So we're going to saute the onions until they've sauteed enough. Add some garlic. Once you've added in your garlic, I give that a nice stir, a very nice stir. And then once that is done and you've ensured that the onions are well cooked and the garlic, next we are going to add in our veggies. Now I want you to note that these veggies are not pre-boiled. If you have pre-boiled, you will not add any water in here. But if you've not pre-boiled like I had not, guys, because time, we are going to add a little bit of water. So let me just take you through this. The next thing I added was some dania sticks. Remember, I told you the magic of dania sticks is unbeatable. It's unbeatable. So we're going to add in our salt, just light salt. And let me tell you, I went overboard with the salt. It was a little bit too much, but be careful with the salt, because we're going to be adding soy sauce, and that is something that I had not considered when I was adding salt, but we move. So the next thing I did was I added in some soy sauce, and then soy sauce is what will give it that nice color that you want to achieve. Then I also added a little bit of water, like 10 ml of water, gave that a nice stir, and then covered it for 5 minutes. Remember, we are not trying to overcook our veggies. We want them to still have their nice natural color and taste amazing and look good, because we said we eat with our eyes. And so guys, as you can see, our veggies are doing perfect. So at this point, I just ensured everything was well incorporated, and then I covered it and let it cook for approximately 5 minutes. So that's how it looks on a close-up look. And now we are going to allow it cook for the next 5 minutes until it's ready. And guys, let me tell you, the results are amazing. Look at that. These veggies are my to go to anytime. They never disappoint. They come out amazing. Whenever you make this, you just look posh, they taste amazing. Now, I didn't like green beans until I started making them this way, and they turn out amazing. Once our veggies are ready, guys, I also I washed my pan, and now we are going to begin cooking, or rather just heating up our wraps. So I put some oil on my pan and placed the wraps there because I want them to acquire the grill marks. And this is something that you must do. Once you've wrapped up your beef or your chicken, you need to put the wraps back on the heat so that it attains the marks, or rather it looks cooked, as you can see. Because let me tell you guys, these wraps were amazing. I even had them the following day for breakfast, and oh my, these are wraps that I'm gonna make again and again and again. The only thing is I'm going to perfect the dough making, so I'm going to try make it thinner, because normally people use the tortilla press, but because I don't have that, we have to use the rolling pin. But guys, look at the inside of those wraps, because they turned out amazing. They were oh my goodness. As you can see inside, they are juicy, but they don't have water. So that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for a wrap that is just restaurant style. Those Ethiopian restaurants that make these wraps, and you're like, how can I make this at home? This is the way to do it. It turned out amazing. So guys, I had the wraps with some sweet potato fries, and the sweet potato fries, I am going to link them down below on the YouTube channel that I made them. So that's what I had. I had some stir fry I left over. I also had the beef stir fry wraps. I had some veggies, some sweet potato. I also made some barbecue sauce, and that was it, guys. My Sunday turned out amazing. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching until the end. Bye, guys.